Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be looking at how to achieve this outfit. Be doing smoking sleeve. This is actually a placement gown. Okay, I'll be taking measurements of where the smoking will start and where it ends, starting from the underbust to the shoulder, then from the shoulder to the back. So what we have there is 24 inches. After you must have measured the distance or the length of the smoking, move straight to your pattern paper. We have to cut with pattern paper first before transferring to our fabric to avoid mistakes. Pattern paper, you measure 7 inches. Is on fold. It's actually on fold. Okay, 7 by 4 inches. You connect. After you've gotten 7 by 4, 7, then 4 down, you divide the 24 inches by 2. 24 divided by 2, mark it there, because if the pattern paper is on fold, okay, you get your 4 inches at that point, then connect with your ruler. So after that, this is what we have. Trying to make a sketch for us to understand clearly what it looks like. Okay, this is the paper unfold. When we unraveled it, it gave us 7 times 2, 14. 4 times 2, we have 8. Okay, we open it up again. So that 12 inches will be giving us 24 inches. 24 inches, which is actually the length we want. On the fabric, we have to double all these measurements. 24 inches by 2 will be giving us 52. Fourteen by 2 will be giving us 28. 8 by 2 will be giving us 16. 26 by 2, 52. So we'll be transferring these measurements now to our main fabric, which is doll face satin. I tried to look for taffeta of that shade, burnt orange. I couldn't get exactly the shade of my client's fabric, so this one came close to the shade. I had to go for it. The lace is a taffeta Indian lace. I actually wanted to use the exact taffeta, but I couldn't get that texture and shade, so I went for doll face, which is also good. Taffeta is good, doll face is good. I will advise you use fabrics that are not too heavy. Okay, So the measurements doubled. The reason we doubled this is because when you're smoking the fabric, it reduces in size. So if you don't double your measurement and do your smoking, it will reduce below your main measurement. Okay, to definitely reduce. Remember, it's on fold, so I'm marking 24 inches there. When I open it, it should be 52 plus 2 inches seam allowance, so it's 26 I did at the end of the day. 26 inches. Sixteen, that is 8 inches, okay, plus 2 inches seam allowance. Now I had to portion this into one each at the smaller side and 2 inches at the wider side. Okay, so I'll connect the 1 inch to the 2 inches. The next lines you are seeing there are portioned into 2 inches. I thought my camera captured it before I ruled the lines. We'll be marking it also at the back. I have two measurements there. That's two fabrics for the left and the right. Okay, that's what you're seeing. Under there is the second sleeve. At this point, you mark the first row, the first box, skip the next box, go to the next one, skip the next box, go to the next. That's how you do it till you get to the end. Then skip the second row and get to the third row. The same thing you did on the first row, you do the same on the third row. Okay, continue like that till you get to the end. You must skip the next one and mark the next one. That's how we do it. You mark slanted, you skip, you mark, you skip, you mark, you skip. We left it 2 inches seam allowance round the fabric. It's actually slanted because of the shape of the fabric. It has to be like that from the center part of the sleeve, slanted to the end or the edges. Okay, then I notched that center. I notched the center part so I can be able to identify it by the time I gather it to connect to my lining. So I'm trying to emphasize on how I achieve these smoking points. So you must use a matching thread to thread your needle. I like using my hand needle and thread. Okay, pinch that end, connect it to the other end of the slanted line. Pull your thread, connect them together, tack, and knot. Okay, be patient enough to do this to all the smoky points. Please don't connect your thread. Once you tack, you must trim off. That gives you a very good and perfect finishing. If you try to connect your thread, you alter the shape or the look of the particular smoking you are doing. You must tack and cut. Trim off, knot your thread. And move on to the next one. Be careful not to skip any. If you skip any of these boxes, you will not achieve a good finishing. Okay, So you must do it. If you skip any by mistake, go back and correct it. One thing about this job is you have to develop or build your patient level, okay? If you've made it to this point, please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share. Please encourage me. God bless you. So we're trying to achieve the lining. It's the lining that we'll be using to turn this smoky. So from that pattern paper, I had to reduce it by 2 inches. Okay, I reduced that end by 2 inches. Okay, mark your 2 inches, connect with your ruler and trim off. This is what we have. So we'll be cutting lining of that size. That is what we'll be using to turn the smoking. That's the back of the smoking, and this is the front. Okay, I'll be trimming lining of that size. You notice, you see that the smoking is bigger than the lining. That's what it should be. So I'll run a stitch at the edges. That's that point. Run a stitch this way and that way. And I'll notch the center. I'll notch the center of my smoking. But by the time you pull or gather the edges, you might not be able to identify the center. It will be difficult for you to identify. So I'll run a stitch there. Gather it to the size of our lining. Then join it to that lining. This is what we have at the end of the day. Okay? If your client wants it bigger, you just increase the size, the measurements. Okay, increase your measurement for her. She's on the slim side. She said she does not want it too big, so I made it that way. Already is puffing up. It's already puffing up. See, I turned it inside out, and this is what we have. Now, at this point, you can feel it, or you attach it the way it is. Depends on what your client wants. If your client wants it puffy, then you have to feel it. If your client does not want it puffy, you just stitch it that way. It's also good. We're stuffing it with fiber. Okay, stuff it with fiber. So don't just drop the fiber. Notice that if you drop it that way, it will be wobbling around. So I used this hot gum to attach it to the sleeves. Okay, now a little flash on how I achieved my appliques. Okay, I'll be using these appliques to place on the dress. If you notice at the beginning of this video, see that the gown, I just made it plain. Okay, so if you want to see how I achieved it, I'll be dropping the link in the description box. Okay, that's our bride rocking our handwork. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, share, like, turn on the notification bell to be seeing more of my updates. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.